it's Laura here. I'm here to do my May TBR. Oh my God, I can't believe we're in May. May is normally a month where I have a lot of stuff going on. May is normally when we have BEA and BookCon. I normally put up a production. Both those things are not happening this year, but it's also one of my favorite months. The weather starts to get nicer. Hopefully that does happen this year and I can go for a few more bike rides and walks and stuff like that. But I'm just going to kind of talk through the books that I hope to read this month. I will admit the past week has been a bit stressful. If you guys, whenever I post this, I will obviously be able to post again, but we've been having a lot of internet issues. So I'm currently not able to upload anything on the internet. So I'm just kind of posting this and just assume eventually I will be able to post it. But it also, I can't download any new audiobooks. I can't like download anything. So I'm just sort of like going through my Kindle and just sort of reading books that I already have or downloaded or already have the access to the audio. So that makes making this TBR a little bit more challenging. Um, but I'm going to talk through the Time Warp YA Book Club's books because those are the only two books on this TBR that are not middle grade. Because the TBR and Beyond Reading Group is doing a middle grade May reading challenge, and I'm really excited for that. I participate every year, and I'm really going to focus that this month on middle grade reads because I have quite a few that I just have added to my collection. But I want to talk through the Time Warp YA Book Club books first because they're the only YA books on this TBR at all. That I was actually excited that got picked. It is Library of Lost Things by Laura Taylor Namey. In April, I read A Cuban Girl's Guide to Tea and Tomorrow and liked it. And this is set in a bookshop. I got this, I think when did this come out? I think I got this like 2 years ago at or maybe the last time I went to BEI I got it. And I just never got around to reading it. But I loved her first one so much. And I sort of like books that are sort of set in a bookshop. So this is one that I'm probably going to try to read the first week of May. So that I can devote the rest of the month to my middle grade reads. This is the first one. The next one, I'm also really excited that got picked. The group wound up choosing The King of Scars duology, and since I cannot dive into the Grishaverse visually, I am going to dive into it this way. And I love Nikolai. It has taken me so long. Ooh, these pages got a little bit bent. But it's taken me so long to dive into this, and I'm hopeful that I'll read this one and be really excited to dive into the TV show. I like Shadow and Bone a little bit. I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. I heard amazing things about the series. So I'm really excited to dive into it and also dive into Nikolai's book. This, again, is going to be a book that I'm going to read the first week of the month. And then the rest of the month, I'm going to sort of devote to my middle grade books, which are impressive. As for the audiobooks, I don't have access to pictures right now, but I would love to tackle Scorched Dragons by Amy Kaufman. That is a middle grade audiobook that I actually already downloaded, so I will definitely wind up reading that one. I'm also in the middle of listening to a historical romance book by Tessa Dare, The Wallflower Wager, which is the third book in a series, but I really am liking it. I'll probably either finish that book today or tomorrow, it just depends. And then there are two celebrity memoirs that I really wanted to get to. They're not out yet. One just came out. It's by Leslie Jordan, who is on Call Me Kat, and he's just a funny voice. I'm just gonna buy it on Audible whenever I get access to it. And also Billie Eilish is coming out with her autobiography. It's coming out this month that I also really want to read. I'm also going to try my hardest to listen to a few more middle grade books through audio if I can ever get access to them. But if for some reason that doesn't happen or I need a little bit of a break, I do also want to pencil in the other Bridgerton book. It's In His Kiss by Julia Quinn. And then I didn't wind up listening to my nonfiction my anti-racist literature last month, which was Anti-Racism in You, Me, and I think it's the remix by Jason Reynolds. I just never got around to that one because I was focusing on the Marie Kondo books, but that's sort of my listening plans if I can download stuff. If not, it's probably going to be Scorched Dragons and probably re-listening to Chain of Gold because that's the only thing that I have still downloaded. But let's get into the physical reads. These challenges work is that they give you a bunch of different like prompts and you just have to sort of fulfill all the prompts, and my prompts change. I give myself like 12 to 15 bucks, and then as I read them, I just sort of pencil them in. So I'm just going to sort of go over the books, and if there's a specific reason I chose it, I'll kind of remember them. But a lot of the prompts are like, you could use a bunch of books for each prompt. But the first book is Bridge of Souls by Victoria Schwab, and this is because one of the prompts is a spooky read. I got this in my my box from Owl Crate Jr. Earlier in March, and I just never got around to reading it. But I really have enjoyed this whole series, and this one I think is set in New Orleans, which is a city that I am dying to visit, but I'm excited to add this one to my TBR and tackle it. Another one, there is a reason I chose this one. It's called A Place at the Table by Sarah Ferzik and Laura Chauvin, and this is about, and the concept about this one was because you had to read a book about friendship. Now there are other books I can read, like Scorched Dragons would probably work as well, but this one is one that I really wanted to read. And it's Sarah and Elizabeth. It follows these two girls, Sarah and Elizabeth. They both go to 6th grade. You know, but they have such different lives. Different two different girls. They both have, they both have family drama, and they're both just dealing with the things that happen in middle school. But they wind up getting thrown together in an after-school South Asian cooking class, and they don't exactly hit it off. But, things develop, friendship happens, and I just like a story that has, like, a cooking class in the background. I got this at ALA from HMH Kids, and I love middle grade storybooks about friendship because I normally give these back to my kids when I can. And I've had this on my TBR for quite a while, and I hope that I get around to reading it this month because it's just about diversity and finding friendship and, stepping outside of your comfort zone in a lot of different ways, but it also does deal with the complexities of home life, which I think is super realistic to kids today. So this is another one that I'm really excited for. And then another one is one that I've had on my TBR for a little bit, and that is The Accidental Apprentice, Wildlord by Amanda Foody, and this is her middle grade debut, and if basically the last thing Barkley Thorne ever wanted was an adventure, but I think when he is adventuring the forest, he winds up, becoming bonded with a beast. And that is sort of a no-no in this society. And I've heard really fun things about it. It's like an adventure story set in like the wilderness, which is stuff I like to read in the summer and spring because it starts to get nice outside. And it's very hard to find a book with a male lead. A lot of the books I read have female characters, so I always look for one that have male leads, especially in middle grade. So really excited to dive into this one. That was sort of like a bad summary, but he unintentionally bonds with the beast and he is run out of town and he has to go on an adventure with a different type of people that believe in being bonded to animals, basically. So I'm excited for this one. It sounds fun, and I've never read anything by Amanda Foody before, but if I like this, I will probably check out her young adult reads. I have them on my TBR. This one is a library pick, and that is The Nightmare Thief by Nicole Lesperance. And this is about a society where there's dream magic. And I think this girl, her sister gets torn into a trap, and she has to go on an adventure to save her sister from some nightmares, I think. Again, I don't know a lot about these books, but the summaries sounded cool enough that I wound up picking them up this month. And then another one that I really am excited for is Dragon Watch, The Wrath of the Demon King by Brandon Mull. I read the first book in this series. I read the entire Fablehaven series, and I'm really excited to dive back into this world and see what Kendra and Seth's adventures are next. I read the first one, I think, last year, and I liked it, but I'm hopeful that I will get back into this book soon, and I will enjoy it as well. And this is a sequel, which will do better on reading more sequels in my life. So I'm excited for that. books that I grabbed off my TBR. So some of them won't get read, but I hope most of them do. This is one I've had on for a while. Evangeline and the Bayou. Someone pitched this to me as saying it's like Buffy the Vampire Slayer in the forest. And I thought that was a cool concept. I've had this for a long time. It's also set in New Orleans, which is like Bridge of Souls. And I tend to read these really quickly because they do have like pictures in them. But I've had this for a couple of years, so if I don't get around to it this time, I will probably save it for Halloween. But I really hope to get around to it quickly. Another one that I bought at a convention a couple of years back was The Hotel in Between by Sean Eastley. And this is a book about a haunted and mysterious hotel. Whenever I think of it, I always think of like the Norse series that Rick Riordan wrote, or the Hollowpox series. But and it has twins, and I love books about twins. And it has doors to countries all around the world. Each journey has its risk. The hotel is full of dangerous secrets. If Cam's not careful, his stay may be over before his vacation has even started. That is really cool. And again, this is another really, really short one, but I like books about magical hotels or magical buildings. They're really, really fun. Another one that I got from ALA last year was The Unadoptables by Hannah Tukey. And this is 5 orphans who want nothing more to find loving families until a sinister stranger tries to adopt all 5 of them. I got this one from Viking at ALA, and I was really excited to read it, and then I just never got around to it. But again, this is another book that I'm really excited for, so I really hope that I will get to it this month. One of the prompts specifically spoke about like a mystery book. So I did wind up getting The Last Chance Hotel by Nikki Thornton. And this again has Seth is a downtrodden kitchen boy at the remote Last Chance Hotel owned by the nasty Bunn family. His only cat is his black cat Nightshade. But when a strange gathering of magicians arrives for dinner, kindly Dr. Thalamus is poisoned by Seth's special dessert. A murder investigation ensures, and Seth is the main subject. The funny thing is he's innocent. Can he solve the mystery and clear his name, especially when magic's afoot? And I actually have the first 3 books in this series, and they're really not that long. Middle grade, I tend to read middle grade super quickly. But yeah, another book that has like a mysterious building in it. Another one of the prompts this month was also to read a graphic novel, and I really like the Babysitters Club graphic novels, and I'm actually a little bit behind, but I have to read Logan Likes Mary Ann. And that is actually the book that if they go in order, that the next season of the Babysitters Club will be about. So I actually do need to read it. But if I like this one, I'll definitely go buy the next one and just keep reading them. And then another one of the prompts was read a book that has your favorite color on it. My favorite color is blue. So I wind up picking Amari and the Night Brothers by B.B. Elston. I have heard incredible things about this book. Really, really good things. I actually started reading it, and then I got a little bit distracted. So I do hope to get around to this book this month. And if I like it, I will probably pass it on to my students. And that is my one stack, and I'm going to go over my last stack, and then we'll be done with this video. The next book that I would love to read this month is another Owl Crate Jr. box pick, and that is Hollowpox by Jessica Townsend. I really liked Nevermore a lot. I struggled a little bit with the second book, but I'm excited for the third book in this series and hope that I really enjoy it. I do like her writing style. I think that she's a very, very good writer. The next 2 are specifically for a prompt, and the prompt is read a Pacific Islander or Asian American middle grade. So I went to my library because I read The Last Star by Gracie Kim a month early, which I loved. But she wound up recommending Inside Out and Back Again. And this is a 10-year-old of his life highest has only known Saigon, the thrills of his markets, the joy of his traditions. But when he's forced to head to America and Alabama, it sort of upends her life. And it's a sort of a journey about her getting acquainted in Alabama, which I'm sure will be a hard journey. Jeez. And then the other one I have is The Night Diary, and this is another book about India in 1947, and it's told through letters. that now she writes to her mother in her journal. Again, another really hard-hitting read. I might try to read these and do maybe like a historical fiction reading vlog. That might be a goal that I might have this month if I can get around to doing it. I know I have a couple of other historical fiction middle grades on my TBR as well. And also, I did want to mention World Between Blinks by Amy Kaufman and Ryan Groudon. That is like a time traveling middle grade novel. And I really did want to get around to it. I just sort of failed so far this year, but I do have a new nook, so that's where I got that one. Sorry, the angle changed. And then the last two that I just sort of pulled from my TBR, I was kind of looking for stuff to fill up my TBR card, is the Book of Fatal Errors by Dashka Slater. And I'm not sure what this one is about. But again, I know it has to do with the woods and two kids that sort of have to work together. And Dragon Ops, The World is Virtual, The Danger is Real, and by Mari Makuzi. I loved her other series, but I'll just sort of read you guys the back. Welcome to Dragon Ops, the world's first augmented reality video game theme park. 3 beta-seeking players, classic gamer Ian, his adventure-seeking sister Lily, and their too cool gaming cousin Derek have been lucky enough to score an invite to play before the fully immersive opens to the public, but then they get trapped in the game. I really liked her other series. So yeah, those are the middle grade books and a few other options that I hope to tackle in the month of May. I did a lot in April. I did a lot of unhauling, so I'm actually happy with where my collection is. I will probably do a few videos when I can actually have access to internet and show you guys the progress. Let me know what are some books you hope to tackle in May, and I will talk to you next time, book lovers. Bye.